All right, let's play some Locomotion. Episode 3, Weatherworld. All right. Ugh. I don't know where that face came from, but we're going to change that real quick. Change the face, change the color. By now you probably know the drill. Pause the game, and we're going to increase our loan. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the game will stop here at 492,000, but if you keep trying to ask the bank for more money, it'll give you an extra 10,000. So in this case, I have to deliver 500 passengers. This should be pretty easy to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to look for the two largest cities and see how close they are in relation to each other. Hopefully they're not so far apart that it's going to be near impossible to connect them with the $504,000 that I have been given. But it looks like I might be able to do it. Right now I'm just kind of taking a look at the cities, trying to figure out the best place to put in my train station. I typically like to put these as close to the city center as possible without actually destroying existing buildings within the city. You can take out as many roads as you want, but as soon as you start removing buildings, the city really starts getting annoyed with you, and they will prevent you from building in the future if you take out too many buildings. So in this case here, I'm pretty close to the city center of Foggywood, and so I'm making my usual double platform. I think they're 12 long. Now I'm just trying to work my way around this hill, but first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my switches, because I'm going to have one dedicated in and one dedicated out for each one of the stations. So that's what I'm doing here, just setting up the signals and making sure everything looks good. I just got to find the other city. Where is it? Oh, looks like we're going to go to Thunder City, which is not too far away. And I'm checking to see what trains are available real quick. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to offset this rail line. Again, I like to try and keep my tracks as level as possible, and sometimes I like to keep the curves as smooth as possible as well. I think there's a speed limit to sharp curves, so sometimes I like to use maybe not the sharpest, but I usually like to use the medium or the long sweeping curves. So here I'm just trying to do some surveying, trying to figure out where the hell this track's going to go. I have a good idea, so I'm just going to plow right through here. Yep, I know I probably could have gone down to meet the original ground, but I like to keep things nice and level, so I'm going to bridge it. Just doing a quick check, see where I'm going. I'm checking the elevations, making sure that I'm not too high or too low. Looks like I'm going to be having to come up. Looks like the major elevation around here is 20 meters. And I'm also checking to see the best place where I can actually put this train station. And it looks like it's somewhere about where I have my cursor. It looks like I'm going to have to take out a couple buildings, but not too many. Again, just making sure that I'm not forgetting anything. This looks like it'll work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this road, because like I said, you can remove roads without being penalized by the city, but as soon as you start taking out buildings, you're in trouble. So these platforms are 12 long. Now I'm going to do my standard crossovers just so we can get the trains on the correct side when they're entering and leaving the train station. So now all I need to do is just connect one to the other. So this is at 20 meters. I forget what the other one was. Oh, looks like that just made a liar out of me. It looks like I'm using the short radius bends to get these tracks together. Oh yeah, 15 meters. Only had to go down 5 meters. And there we go. We're all connected. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to confirm which train is my incoming and which train is my outgoing. That's my incoming and my outgoing. And I'm also going to electrify the third rail in the entire system for $22,000. I probably could have used the electric train at that point, but I wasn't too crazy about the amount of power and the amount of speed was afforded to me with the electric, so I ended up going with more of a standard train. So right now I'm just comparing some of the stats. I like to have lots of power, and the maximum speed is not really all that important, but definitely the power for this particular run is pretty important. I want to be able to pull as much as I can and get up to speed as quickly as I can. The distance between these two stations are not such that I need to have a really speedy train. I just need something with a little bit of grunt just to get going, and by the time it gets going it's probably halfway to the other station anyways. So I'm just testing out the train, making sure it's going to fit completely in the station without having anything hanging up. Looks pretty good, and it's on its way. So I got 99,000 left. That's probably enough for another train. Oh, I'm broke. Perfect. That's alright. So I'm not too overly concerned about my performance index. Again, the whole point of this particular challenge is just to move 500 passengers. Excuse me. So what I'm doing now, I'm putting in some intermediate signals just so that I can put in more trains, and that will allow me to tighten up the gaps between the trains as they're coming and going from stations. So I think I'm just arbitrarily putting them in. You want to make sure that the signals are at least the same distance as the length of the trains that you are using. Otherwise, if you tighten up the signal distance, the trains are going to get confused and they're going to be stuck between or on top of signals. So it looks like we're pretty much almost done, 60%. Might as well fast forward and have a little bit of money. Maybe I can build another train, maybe? Oh yeah, I'm almost done. And there we go. We are done.